Nothing is worse than voicing your opinion and you get nothing back. Both of those guys would rather you get mad and yell at them and say something because that means you care versus just not saying anything at all. It's like, all right, the passion's not there into it if you're not willing to argue about it or just talk about it.
There's nothing to work with there.
Welcome everyone to episode 257 of the COD Casuals. We're your host, Justin.
And I'm Mike.
How you doing, Mike?
I'm doing well. It's another week. We're drawing closer to the major here, which is nice. We were talking about that beforehand. I want to say, because we didn't even chat about it before, if you are from Philadelphia, I'd like to apologize. The football fans out there. Same thing with the people that faced off against the New England Patriots yesterday. Who was it again? Did we play the Chargers?
Yeah, them.
I feel bad for anybody who's a fan of those sports teams. I did not. You know me, I'm not a big sports guy. But I saw the Patriots game. I checked it like before I went to bed, and it was a weird scoring game. It was like I think it was like 9-3 or something at the time. And it was going into like the third or fourth quarter, I think. I was like, okay, that's not bad. Like, sure. And then I woke up this morning and saw that we won. And I mean, everybody was just gassing that whole thing. Like, did you watch it? The games at all? Like, all of them?
I watch it. Yeah, I watch every single playoff game.
Yeah. I haven't watched a game all year, dude.
Yeah. I mean, the Pats are good. I mean, it's a good time to bandwagon. Everyone watch it, like playoff sports. It's a good way to hop in. But the Pats are good. Drake Mays, everyone's like, he's our king in New England right now. I mean, he's great. All the other playoff games they're really good. This one was more a defensive game because they made like really good adjustments, so that's why it's super low scoring. But all the other games were just like shootouts.
So what was the deal with the Eagles game? Because I saw so many people like trashing on one of the guys for the Eagles, or just like a couple of people in there being like they're a disgrace and they totally like blew it.
Player wise.
Yeah.
I mean, they did blow it. Yeah.
Like I didn't see any of the highlights from that. I watched the ones at work with the Patriots. Yeah. And like you said, that was a defense game for sure. But I have no idea what happened with the Eagles and the 49ers.
The Eagles should have won. I'll say that. Definitely should have won. The AJ Brown receiver for the Eagles, he dropped 3 key passes. Like very, very bad. Like the ball landed perfectly, all 3 passes in his hand, just didn't catch it. Damn. And he had 3 chances to change the game where the Eagles should have won, and he screwed up. And this year he's been like complaining a lot. Like there's just been a lot of drama around him specifically. And he's like, throw me the ball. I'm always open. He is open. But when the ball was thrown to him, key plays, he dropped it. I get it when you're going to, there are going to be drops, but I'm pretty sure he's the highest paid receiver on the Eagles. He's like their star receiver.
Oh, damn. So he's nasty.
No, he's insane. But if you want the ball and they pay you all this money, 3 passes that are routine passes that land in your hand, you better catch that shit.
Mm-hmm.
And he didn't, and that's why they lost. And well, not just him, but the Eagles had one more drive left, and they decided to like clock manage because they didn't want the 49ers to get the ball again, but they had to score to win. And I think they were more worried about the clock and leaving less time for the 49ers than actually going and scoring. I'm like, dude, this isn't guaranteed. You have to score first. Like, I get it, but you need to get closer and score.
Yeah.
And they didn't. So they lost when they should have won.
And that's it for them then, right? So they're done.
Yeah. All the teams that lost this weekend, they're out.
And then what's the next step after this? Like for the Patriots, do they know who they're going to be playing next, or are there another set of matches that have to happen?
So next week will be the divisional round. Patriots don't know who they're playing yet. They're playing the winner of tonight, which is the Texans Steelers. So whoever wins that plays the Pats. Pats are gonna win regardless, so it doesn't matter. I'm confident them playing either of these teams, so I'm
I was
happy
gonna
about
say,
that.
I feel like the main teams that I've heard over, like, the past couple of years that have been, like, really good has been the Chiefs, the Eagles, of course,
Mhm.
and then I'm really trying to think, like, maybe I'm not trying to think if it's just the Cowboys or the Colts. One of those teams wasn't too bad. I wanna say the Cowboys. I mean, you tell me if I'm wrong.
Uh, I mean, the Cowboys just suck. I
Okay, so it's not
I
them.
hate the Cowboys. Like, sorry if you guys are Cowboy fans, dude, like, it's just for them, I feel really bad because it's probably just disappointment after disappointment every single year for them. They have a good core. They traded it away, their star, defensive player. There was
Who
a
was
bunch of
that?
drama, Micah Parsons, and
Okay.
they between him and, like, Jerry there's a lot of drama between him and Jerry Jones, and they just let him go, and then he signed with the Packers, and the Packers made the playoffs, and the Cowboys didn't, and yeah, and but the Packers got eliminated. They lost.
Who did they play?
They played the who did they play? Rams. No, they didn't play the Rams. Who'd they play? Uh, the Steelers.
Hmm.
Did they? Yeah, the Steelers. Hold on, I got.
Let's look it up.
I literally just watched these games. Can't remember.
Oh, dude,
Oh no, 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 no.
it's so
They played the Bears. The Bears. That was an
the Bears.
insane game. Insane. I was watching it. Uh, so Caleb Williams, quarterback for the Bears. It's his second year in the league, and they have a brand new head coach. And everybody's like, Caleb Williams, like, we don't like this guy. He sucks. He's not the quarterback. He's not the franchise quarterback. And then all the men like don't like this guy because Caleb Williams like just he doesn't give a shit about like any like he paints his nails, he wears earrings, like um and stuff. And people are like, you want your quarterback painting his nails in this locker room? I'm like,
Oh,
why
man,
the
get out of
fuck
here.
does that
Why do you
matter,
care?
dude? What?
Yeah,
uh but they played the Packers. The Packers were up 21-3 going into the half. Um
damn.
And going into the fourth quarter, they're up 21-6 and they lost.
Bro, that's like a Pats Falcons, like,
Yeah.
Super Bowl kind of a situation. Like, everyone's turning off the TV, it's chalked, right?
Oh yeah. They had 25 unanswered points. 25 unanswered points. It was crazy. That was probably the best playoff game this weekend, but all the games were within one score. So like
Yeah,
all the games were good. The Pats game was good. Biased cuz Pats fan, but
right.
it wasn't like exciting cuz it was all defense.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
It
we
was
had
more like a strategy game.
yeah, yeah. Like, we had 1 touchdown. The
And then
rest was just all defensive plays.
what about the Chiefs? Are they good still this year, or what's up with them?
No, they didn't make the playoffs.
Damn.
Yeah.
What happened to, Mahomes? Is he, like, dog shit now, or did he, like what happened?
No, he just that team was just in shambles. Like, everyone he had got hurt or got arrested, and then the last play of literally, I think there was, like, 10 seconds left of the game. Last play of the game to decide if he's going to the playoffs or not, tears his ACL. Yeah,
Holy shit.
so he's out probably like he might be able to come back like the beginning of next season. But
Yeah.
yeah, literally 10 seconds left in the game, deciding if they make the playoffs or not, and they would
Mhm.
still have to win out the rest of the season. Tears his ACL.
Holy
Shocked.
shit. Wow, yeah, it's chalked.
So yeah, right now, the favorite, I mean, Josh Allen, the quarterback for the Bills, like he's insane. And he's one of those guys that makes the playoffs like insane during the regular season, makes the playoffs, and then just he can't get one. He just chokes.
Yeah.
But now Mahomes isn't in there. Lamar Jackson, the Ravens got eliminated. They're not in there. Um, and Josh Allen is like in, that group of quarterbacks, like top tier quarterbacks. Like this might be his year.
Damn.
Might
Well,
be. But the Patriots, like they're still in there. And the Patriots have beaten the Bills. So
now I know this is like, maybe a dumb question, But, like, you being a big fan, are you gonna be that devastated if the Patriots lose? Like, if they're gonna lose to any
Mhm.
team, would you be like, "That's not bad." Like, if they're gonna lose to the Bills, like, you're happy for Josh Allen, or are you like, "No, fuck those guys."
No, if they shouldn't lose the next game, regardless if it's the Texans or Steelers. Like, I'll be mad if
Yeah,
they lose to that because they've
yeah,
beaten way better teams.
mhm.
Uh, the fact that the Texans and Steelers made it into the playoffs, like, it's just a fluke for both of those teams, to be honest. Um, if they lose to the Bills, like, I'll be upset, but they lost to like, a really, really good team.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
very, very good team, so
it's crazy to me to see now because I looked at and I was talking with one of my coworkers this morning about it with Drake May because I saw the highlights with that and dude, I didn't realize by the way how fast he is for a quarterback. Like I'm
yeah,
so used to
he's
people
quick.
moving mad slow, but he'll just go and fucking run it sometimes and he
Mhm.
can like move, you know. But then I look him up. I'm like, homie was born in 2002. I'm like, the
Yeah,
fuck?
yeah,
like,
yeah,
like all these guys, dude, they're no longer like our age. They're all younger than us, you
yeah,
know, which
yeah.
is ridiculous to see. But
He has
Josh
a
Allen, though, he's got to be older than us, right?
he might be alright, he might be 28.
Yeah. Let me go check. Like, I feel like I've heard his name okay, he's 29. We got a
Yeah,
couple of years.
around that
We
age.
got a couple of years.
Yeah, um, but yeah, I mean, the fact that the Patriots even made the playoffs this year, like, it's just so much better because 'cause we're actually good. Like, watching the Pats, I'm like, "Alright," like, they have a chance of winning. It's not like they're gonna get
Mhm.
smoked every single time for the past 5 years, and I don't know, people listening probably hate us because 'cause we're Patriot fans because 'cause we're from here, but,
Right.
um, we got blessed with the best, NFL player of all time, and I'll say it, we had a 5-year stint when we were just awful, and the rest of the league had 5 years to get better, and they didn't.
Yeah. And
And
can
we're
you
back.
imagine those teams, like, haven't the Jets been shit forever? Like, haven't
Yeah.
they been such a bad yeah. Can you imagine being a fan of those teams? Like, at
Oh,
least for us,
yeah.
yeah, 5 years of not being good, but
Yeah.
bro, those teams, it's like, try, like, 20, try 30 years
Yeah.
where they haven't really done that much. They haven't had a year where they're like, "Bro, this is the year we can actually win this."
Mhm.
Um, that has to suck.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I mean, we've been blessed with, a lot of championships. So, but I mean, I'm just happy that we made it back into the playoffs. It like if I had to predict, there's a lot of good teams in the NFC. Like a lot of things would have to line up pretty well for us to win. Like the whole thing. If we win the whole thing, I'll be shocked. Like
Really.
purely shocked. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, we should make it to the AFC Championship. Like I think that's possible. And then from there, it's like just got to play better football. Because they're
Well,
probably going to play the Bills. If they play the Bills, that can go either way because they played each other in the regular season and we went 1-1. So
yeah.
it could go either way.
Now, you're a huge Eagles fan, like, were you shocked that they lost, like, that's it for them?
No, because they were like mediocre all year.
Yeah,
And they should have won. Like they fucked up. They should have won.
yeah,
But I wasn't like I mean, I was upset, but they play the 49ers were their offense is pretty good. Their defense was meh. But the Eagles have struggled all year.
yeah, so I was, again, totally unaware of all this stuff, like, I still am. I probably won't watch any more football games until the Super Bowl ends up happening,
Mhm.
um, or maybe seeing, like, if there's a big game that the Pats are playing where they might lose, like, I probably won't watch that Steelers or Texans game, whoever they end up playing,
Mhm.
um unless again, I'll watch the highlights, but I don't know. I think it's crazy how the Pats, like you said, they've been so bad. And this year, usually I kind of keep up with it like a little bit. Um, but I haven't watched anything this year.
Mhm.
And then I'm still always hearing that we're still in it. I'm like, damn, weren't we like dog shit? And then people are,
Yeah.
yeah, everyone's talking about that guy, Drake May, how he's just like the truth. He's insanely good.
Mhm.
Um, and yeah, then I looked him up and I saw him and I was like, "Damn, this guy is fucking insane." Like He's so good, and he's cool too. Like, when you see him in interviews and everything, he's just, like, mad chill, you
Yeah.
know? Like,
Yeah.
he's brought that team so far, and it's part of it, it's like, dude, like, if they lost their next time, like, yeah, they'd obviously be pissed, but dude, they made massive progress, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
But they just
I
keep
mean,
riding the wave. They're like, "Oh, let's just go. Like, if we lose, whatever, dude. Like, we shouldn't even have been here." And then they
mhm.
make it all the way, and they're like, "Dude, we're the best."
Yeah. Well, it's because they were one of the worst teams last year, and like the usually the way it works is like if you're a horrible team, your schedule is like kind of catered to you. Like we had an easier schedule this year,
Yeah,
but to win the Super Bowl, like you're gonna have to play good teams. Um,
right.
and people are saying when we played the Chargers had to play like pretty good teams during the regular season, and they had like a decent record. Um, So people were worried about the Chargers playing the Pats, but the Chargers couldn't figure out the Pats defense.
Right. So that's like a good sign for them. If
Yeah,
they could
yeah,
beat the
yeah.
Chargers, then like they're pretty good.
Yeah, yeah. Like the Chargers are better than the Steelers and the Texans.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
they're gonna have to play one of those teams. And they're playing at home too. So home field advantage.
Yeah, bro. That's don't I remember I didn't end up going there, but my mom lives like right around that area. And bro, you and I know like trying to travel on a Sunday anywhere around in like Gillette, forget it, bro.
Oh yeah,
Legit,
yeah.
legit
I
disastrous. And especially now where they're good and everyone's trying to go see them, forget
mhm.
about it.
Yeah. I'm hoping they play the Texans. I mean, I don't really care who wins, but I hope they play the Texans mainly because of the competitive advantage of they can't play in the cold.
Yeah.
Like it's going to be cold here. They're used to warm weather.
Right, that's true.
Yeah.
No, that does make sense. Because yeah, what Steelers? Yeah, they're fucking out there. Sure, they could do that, no problem. It's probably the same thing with the
Yeah.
Packers too. Like the Packers, that doesn't bother them at all. If they're
Yeah.
playing, like if people are playing in Green Bay, they're probably like, oh shit,
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. So
at
it's,
this time of the year.
and the Steelers the Aaron Rodgers is quarterback for the Steelers. Like he played in the cold all the time in the Packers. So
Yeah,
he's used to the cold.
this will be
Um,
my last question on football. Do you think is that guy gonna keep going, or do you
After
think
this
he?
year,
Yeah, is he
I think it's
done?
done this year. Yeah,
Because man, he's fucking old, bro. Like,
yeah. I think he's 43. I think,
damn.
which 43. Yeah, yeah. No, he's a great quarterback, but age has caught up to him.
Well, yeah, that's what I was gonna say. He's like, he's definitely on the decline, huh? You think?
He's 42. I was close, 1 year older, but
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, like, okay, it's just hard to compare it because like we had Tom Brady. That dude just didn't really skip a beat, to be honest.
Mhm.
He played all the way till he was what, like 45.
Yeah.
So I'm like, yeah, Aaron Rodgers could keep playing, but he's not the same anymore. Um,
Mm.
and he's only going to play for a team that has a chance of making the playoffs and winning. So
Right.
I think he'll be done this year though, because
Mm.
last year he was with the Jets, god awful. They got rid of him, and he signed with the Steelers. And then the year before that with the Jets, like he tore his Achilles, like on the first play
Oh,
of
yeah, yeah, I remember
the
that, yeah.
game. Yeah.
Yeah, bro,
So
it's once he goes, that's gonna be the passing of the guard. Like, he's the
mhm.
like, one of gotta be, right? One of the last old guys from that generation that's been playing for a long time.
Yeah, like I think it's just him. Like when he's gone, literally our childhood is gone.
Yeah,
Like all the people we grew up watching, just gone.
yeah. Yeah, we're starting to see that more and more with a lot of sports and stuff. Like I see that in racing all the time. Like when Lewis
Mhm.
Hamilton retires, it's gonna be like a whoa, holy shit! Like this
Yeah,
guy's been around for so long. But yeah, it's gonna be that new wave of people. I mean, we see that all the time too with like with COD. You
yeah.
know, like it's the same thing. I mean, we're
You'll you'll
there.
see
You go.
like
You're gonna say
usually two generations of like elite players. Um, like we got to witness like the Tom Brady's, Ben Roethlisberger, Aaron Rodgers, like Philip Rivers, Drew Brees, like all these guys play, and now we have like the Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, like they're growing up like with us,
hmm
and like there will be a point when we're like in our 40s, and those guys like could be still playing when they're 40, and it's like man, remember when they just first started the league, like, they're insane.
Right,
Uh,
right,
and then I think at that point, like, in our 40s, we're like, "Oh, shit." Like, the new, like, 20-year-olds, like, coming straight out of college, like, they're gonna be the new, new generation.
right, right, and they're gonna be nasty too, just because the sport, I'm sure, is gonna have advanced even more, you
Yeah.
know? So they'll probably be better or, like, better equipped to be better than the
Mhm.
people that we're witnessing right now, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a trip to think about it. Like we were just talking about too with the optic major since it's coming up for us soon, and we're gonna see Mercules there, which
Mhm.
is just gonna be so wild because you mentioned it and I didn't really think about it that this is his first full season that he's gonna be playing as a professional. And to think that we're gonna witness it, the first major where he's there with Optic, and who knows, dude, probably like, 8 years from now, hopefully he's still playing and still doing well. He's gonna be a mega veteran,
Mhm.
if he keeps going that way. And we're gonna be like, bro, we were watching him like way back then, like all these guys were still playing, but all of them like long retired after him, and
Mhm.
he's gonna be then like the veteran playing with all the new Mercules that come along and it's gonna be insane to watch. Like I always like seeing that with sports, how it advances and how some people who are once viewed as good, they get compared to the new people who are like, you know, infinitely better because of what they have available to be better. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. And COD's just weird though because we've lived through, I guess, like the first ever wave of like retirement,
Yeah.
like a true retirement of COD players,
Yeah.
um, where like we are literally the pioneers of watching these guys. Like those guys that started, like Slasher retired. We mentioned that like a couple episodes. Um, and he was like the last, yeah, the last old guard uh that was playing COD like back when we were watching. Now the oldest player in the league is Dashy, which is just insane to me because he's younger than us. He's 26.
Right.
And but like I remember when Dashy like first started playing, like he was on complexity with Sensor, with Doug.
Yeah.
And I remember him like at a boot camp at like the old hex quarters and he was scrimming with them. And like at that time, it was BO4. I remember texting you when BO4 came out, and I was like, "Yo, they just picked up." It was Tej, Dashy, Scump, Crim, and Karma. That was a roster like going into the first like CWL like major
Yeah.
event, and I remember when they picked up Tej and Dash, I was like, "Oh, Dash is like insane." I didn't know anything about Tej besides like watching him in World War II. Like I didn't know anything about content. Like I don't even know what he looked like.
Right.
I'm like, who the heck is this guy? Like I know he was fried as a sub, and that was 2015 slash 2016. Dude, it's been
And
10
he's still
years.
playing.
He's still playing. Yeah. So like those guys to me are just they're so young still, but they're vets. They are vets.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's like Simp came in at the tail end of Black Ops 4 because of the like he wasn't 18 yet. And as
Mhm.
soon as that kid turned 18, like he cooked the entire league and he's
Well,
still here.
and we talked about him before because I guess we'll end up chatting a bit here first about the CDL stuff since we're talking about it. But we were talking about Draza with his job being on the line here, and they absolutely fried Optic. But when you were saying all that stuff about him, thought back, didn't Draza start in MW 2019 on
Yeah.
that OGLA team?
Mhm.
Like, and I don't know if he was on the roster full or if he got like subbed in at some point, but I remember he was on that team. It was like him and oh, what was the guy's name? Hollow. Hollow
Yeah.
was on there, and I think fucking JCap was on that team.
Yeah.
JCap and
Slasher.
and yeah, was Slasher was on there too. Yeah, and you know
Yeah.
who their fifth was? Kenny.
Yeah. Yeah.
Crazy team. But, like, that's when Draza started in 2019, you know?
Mhm.
Like, in the grand scheme of things, when we think about it, he hasn't really been playing that long.
Mhm.
But, like, no one would argue that Draza is not a veteran, Like, he's
Yeah.
been at the top playing a long time competitively. But then you think about someone like, even Dashy or Tej where they're the older guys. Like, bro, they just played the year before.
Oh,
Like
yeah, yeah, yeah.
was it. There's
Mhm.
nobody left from like, Oh, yeah, they played back in BO3 or, like, anywhere around that era. If you now
Mhm.
I get well, not guarantee, when you look at everybody from the BO2 Ghosts, like IW, AW, they're every one of those people is retired. Every one of them.
Yeah, yeah. The one yeah, like, all the big names, yeah. Because like, yeah, I Dashy really got his start in it was, like, BO4, obviously, uh, when he joined Optic, but,
Yeah.
like, he was on Complexity for a while, and Tej and Kenny technically, like, they played World War II. Like, they're technically, like, the longest, like, tenured
Yeah.
for, like, pros right now. But, yeah, all the I guess, like, cutoff of when you're a veteran or not is skewed because that was, like, back then, right? So, technically, Tej and Dashy and, like, Kenny, they have, like, well over a decade's worth of experience, technically.
Yeah.
Whereas Draza, obviously, was still playing, but he joined during the CDL era. That's when he became officially a pro. Um, and I remember that team because when that OGLA team was having so many problems, Dashy was on that team too, and then he got subbed in on Piccadilly for
Yeah.
I think it was Kenny because Kenny was sick or something, and then he hit some insane shots with the sniper. They won, and then they took him out of the match. And then he tweeted out that
The
Joe Burrow tweet.
legendary, yeah. See
Yeah,
y'all in Cold War.
yeah. Uh, I was on. I wonder what happened with Hollow. Like I don't even know what that guy does.
Yeah. No, I have no
I wonder where he
idea.
is. But I was on Draza like from the beginning when that guy joined. Like he was on and off, like bench and starting roster over and over with that OGLA team. I'm like, this dude is too good. Like you got to keep him on the roster. And then Cap retired, and then he finally stayed on.
Yeah, you've been, I will back you on that for sure, dude. You've been loving Draza since like day one. You've always been a fan of him.
Mhm.
And he pulled through. He's world champ, he's done well.
Yeah,
Like,
people hate him.
yeah, no, yeah,
I just,
people love to hate him.
uh,
It's the
uh,
thing about him,
I
but
I had an eye.
yeah, no, he got the eye for talent, bro. Like those guys, though, it is interesting to in sports in general, but particularly with esports, to see where someone becomes a veteran. You know, like does it just come simply with time, or is it high pressure situations that you're in and you rise to the occasion? Like I would imagine most people would not say that Mercules is a veteran, but he's certainly not a rookie. But
Mhm.
technically, by the amount of games that he's actually played he kind of is a rookie, like, he hasn't really played that
This
much in the grand scheme of things, but, like, what he's played and how high stakes it has been, and he's risen to the occasion, most people would argue that, yeah, he's working his way towards, like, a solidified veteran, like, everyone knows he's not going anywhere,
Mhm.
but is he on the level of veteran, like, leadership and playing, like, Hook or Dashy for that matter? Like, of course not,
Yeah, yeah.
but
I
how
mean,
long does it take for him to get there? I don't really know.
yeah, I mean, it's different for, like, everyone, I guess.
Mhm.
'Cause I would still consider this his rookie year. It's his first year playing
Yeah, I would
a full
too.
year. It's his rookie year,
But he's
but,
not a rookie though.
he's still I mean, you gotta classify him as one. He's playing up to, like, veteran standards,
Mhm.
but he is a rook,
Yeah.
and he like, he'll be treated that way, but he's he's making veteran plays that takes, most players, again, like, years to develop,
Yeah.
and I'm sure part of that is just because he has the right mind for the game. Like he looks at the game differently than other rookies that come in. Because I'm sure if you take any other, not any other, like multiple rookies and stick them in the same situation that he was in, like with Optic, obviously they're gonna do well. But this guy won a bunch, like a world championship with them, and then won EWC. Like they're winning everything. There's something that makes him stand out from like all the other rookies, and it's just his play style, like how he thinks about the game. And I think Karma has said it where he's thinking about certain like plays in the game that took Karma like a couple of years to develop. Like, oh yeah, like this is a right play to do. It's not the most flashy play, but this is the right one to do instead of doing, this other option.
Oh, dude, you watch him play during that Surge game. So like they played 2 matches, they got smoked by FaZe. Because FaZe, has put in the work and they look great. Especially with all the rumors lingering around about Adraza being potentially dropped off, that they stomped all that. But then
Mhm.
OPTIC responded and they played Surge, which I know it's nothing like crazy. Apparently they did drop a map on them, and I heard that Mercules was so pissed that they ended up losing that. They're like, dude, this is a disgrace. Like, we shouldn't be
Yeah.
losing. Um, but I think it was on the initial hard point that they played. And dude, when they go in his POV, he's just so good at playing his life. It's
Mhm.
unbelievable. Like, there's no ego chow from him. There's no nothing. He just is always shouldering. If he's like one shot, he's just always laying down. Like, he's not even going to bother engaging. He's always waiting for his teammates and waiting for
Mhm.
pushes to happen. Um, Again, you'd be hard pressed to find any other rookies that come in and make plays like that. Obviously, too, his system and the team that he's with is godlike. But he individually, he plays like you were saying, he plays way above his level. Like, he plays
Mhm.
someone who's been playing for, I don't know, probably as long as those guys have. But the fact
Mhm.
that it's only his first year shows how crazy he really is.
Yeah, I mean, I think what you pointed out, him just playing his life. Most rookies that come into the league, they come into the league because they're frying in challenges. Like, everyone can shoot straight, um, and I think rookies, when they come in, they get antsy and they're like, "Oh, I'm just gonna run in and like gun as many people as possible." And yeah, you have to do that, but being patient and waiting is like a huge skill that I feel like a lot of rookies don't have, because in challengers you feel like you have to do everything because you're trying to
Right.
make it to the top. You trust your teammates, but all of you are just trying to fry at the same time. Whereas
Right.
in the league, uh, he's waiting for his teammates. That's like a huge skill. Like, to be patient in those high pressure moments where like three people are like they're chasing after you, and you have the trigger discipline and to not shoot and like move and try to like engage. Like, that split second of you just laying down and waiting gave Shotzi or Hook like the same amount of time to try to rush up to the map to try to help you. And that's a right play. Whereas most rookies probably would shoulder it and try to chow because they're like, oh, if
Yeah.
I win this, I did enough. Whereas, yes, but what are the odds of you like actually winning that versus laying down, possibly dying, but now two of your teammates are up?
Yeah, exactly. And it could just be like a matter of a split second where you have to make that decision, and you can, totally blow a game within that decision.
Hmm.
If you go and do something wrong, then everything else can, domino and fall into an effect. Like, we're seeing that a lot now with Overload. Like, this mode, I mean, I'll say first off, I love watching Overload. Like, we've had
Hmm.
it, since the beginning of the year, of course. And watching the pros play it has just been so fun. It's a bit refreshing than watching Control all the
Hmm.
time. Even though I do love and miss Control, this is a great mode to watch because it is punishing if you don't like have everything lined up. And again, on those decisions, if you make a mistake, then you pay for it immediately. Like, we
Hmm.
saw it with the Thieves when they played Koi. The amount of like little mistakes that Thieves would make, and sometimes like massive ones, they wouldn't just lose 1 point, they would lose two. Like, they would
Hmm.
immediately lose these like they would just get captured on immediately. Their team would score. And it's wild to see that, where just one thing, like, oh yeah, if you go and push out this side here and try to cap, like, yeah, they go and get it and they get the ball and then they score. But because of where you are, that's now spawned the ball in a certain spot, and they know that and you
Hmm.
don't. But because you pushed here and you're an idiot and you didn't
Yeah.
think all those steps ahead, which, like, for us, it's insane that they can do that
Hmm.
quickly. But when you see at the pro level, when they just make, small mistakes like that, it's over.
Yeah.
And that game hadn't even ended yet, but everyone was like, I saw it when watching the flank. I think it was 3-0, and they're like, "Yeah, we know this is over." Like, the way that Thieves are playing this, they're not thinking like these steps. They're not, having that, I don't know, like, five head kind of a thought where you're gonna be thinking all those steps ahead to pull off a win in it.
Hmm.
And that was it. And they got smoked.
Yeah. That. that game mode is so much teamwork, and the Thieves are just lacking the awareness that they needed in that. And you can't get wiped. I mean, obviously, a wipe of everyone that's bad. That's an immediate score, but like you can't go two down.
Mm-mm.
Going two down gives enough room for the enemy team to like advance and push up, and then they're just going to keep working that. And it's so much more teamwork in this game mode, which I like. But like you said, like if you're last up and you spawn up, you have to go and make sure you're picking up like the flank or you're picking up like one of the lanes, because if you're not there and say you run a certain path like right behind your teammate and you fuck up um the flow of the map, and then you have someone like pinching or something from the other team, like you're screwed.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Like,
can't lose your lives at the same exact time. It has to be an assembly line.
and I saw too, like the play that I was thinking of is when they ended up getting like I don't they didn't get 4 dead, but they had a clear like on the right side of I think it's a den, that's the map. And they were on the right side of the map there, and they had like a full clear map that they could go through, but they went and wrapped around,
Mhm,
to try to fake them out, which was, in the moment they were all tweaking that they did this. But just because they did that, that's when Kleenex, like they had them isolated, killed them, grabbed the ball, and done. Like that was it.
mhm,
Just because of that one move that they did. Um, and yeah, like you said, the teamwork from them, like Thieves for sure this weekend was the big question mark that people had. And a lot of it got answered that this team is just on the struggle bus. They are not like thinking and like working as a team. And people are starting to say that they're going to be making changes. They're going to drop Kenny.
mhm.
We talked about before that I do think this is going to be the move for them. They have to make a roster change. Um, because you can't make mistakes like that without making a change. When those guys are at that level,
Mhm.
there's just no way. Something has to give. It was like OPTIC last year. They
Yeah.
just you can't stick with that team knowing that your fundamentals are not there because they're not there now, there's just no way they're going to be able to get that stuff going.
Yeah, and they just don't look happy. Like, being
Yeah,
obviously, they're
right.
losing, so you're not gonna be happy, but as a team, like, the chem overall, they just don't look like they enjoy playing with each other,
Hmm.
and, I've said it before that you can't just take a bunch of superstars and load them up on a team and expect them to just all, be firing on all cylinders and just frying everyone. Clearly, it doesn't work. Chemistry really does matter,
Hmm.
because if you're telling me that a team with Scrap, Abeezy, Hydra, and Kenny is getting cooked like this, you know, I'd be very, very shocked. But they are. They're getting cooked. They're not playing well off of each other.
It's wild to see this team struggling, like you
Mhm,
said, with the caliber of players that they have. On paper, you would never imagine that they would be in the situation that they're in.
mhm,
Um, so it's going to be weird to see that team with, somebody else in there. I don't know if they just add one person. Who's the guy there? Neum, is that his
yeah,
name? Yeah,
Neum,
who's like they're on the sub, or he's like the bench player right now.
yeah,
Obviously, they'd probably bring him in, and we've said this, and other people like I saw on Scump saying it, and like people on the flank, or it's like that team's not going to all of a sudden just come right to the top with this guy, more than likely. Um, but it's a matter of like how long is it going to take for these guys to figure it out? Because right now they seem so far behind.
mhm,
And is it going to be an optic situation where they have one guy who comes in and it's just immediately changes things? Or are they going to still struggle? I don't think Neum is like the Mercules,
mhm.
for Thieves. Um, so they're going to have to still put in a ton of work to be able to get out of whatever struggle that they're in right now.
Yeah, and we were talking about it earlier. I was saying that I don't think that changed with Kenny. Like, there's deeper problems.
Hmm.
Abeezy and Hydra just are not working well together, and they need to figure that out, because I they're not going to make a change. Let's say Abeezy and Hydra, they're not figuring it out after Major One. They're not going to make a change. There's no way. If you get rid of Abeezy or Hydra at that point because they can't figure it out, that's insane. That
Yeah.
that probably would be like one of the biggest like Call of Duty moves in the middle of a season if that
Yeah.
happened. But um those two need to figure it out because if those two can figure it out, I think the rest they'll be able to make it work and
Yeah.
click.
Yeah, I think so too. Um, yeah, it's just gonna be a matter of how long it takes, you know. Like I hope to see at Major One that this team does well. Like with their new roster, I don't really know where they're gonna end up, but I will say, you know, unfortunately for them, it is nice to see that all of these teams right now are having their good moments and bad moments because I would kind of hate to have one team just be completely dominant and never look bad and run the league.
Mhm.
Um, so it's nice to see that like Optic, you know, they look godlike and then they lose 3-0. And then FaZe definitely looks like all of a sudden they're the best team, you know. And of course, Paris looks really good. Like they haven't had any like truly horrible series, I don't believe. I think maybe one they did. But again, pretty minor. Like they're still good. And Thieves right now too. Like everybody knows the potential of that team, but right now they're shit. You
Mhm.
know. So I think that fight for like within the top four, top five is going to be really good. There is really right now no clear number one. Um,
Mhm.
which makes it interesting to watch because I'm not going to go to the Optic Major with you and be like, "Oh yeah, there's no doubt Optic's winning this." It's like I
Yeah.
really don't, I have no idea. Like they could be good. FaZe could be godlike, or Thieves could all of a sudden figure it out. You know?
Yeah. I mean, I think right now you would have to say though that Optics they're definitely the favorite, but seeing them lose to FaZe makes, you think that all right, well, obviously FaZe they're going to be a team that always figures it out and maybe they just figured it out now
Hmm.
and can they carry that momentum going into the major? Um which is that's huge. Like if you can win your last couple matches before going to the major, that momentum will carry over. Um, but our boys at Boston did not carry that momentum over. Hopefully they can close it out in the next couple weeks, but they played Surge and they
Can
took the
we?
foot
Uh,
off the gas pedal.
can we not talk about this that much, Justin?
they
This brother, what the
dude,
fuck happened
they
with us?
they're up two. They should have won.
Oh
Like
yeah,
they're up 2-0 and then they choked. They got reverse swept. And they just took the foot off the gas pedal. I don't know what happened, to be honest. Like, I was watching this, I'm like, yo, what are they doing? This should have been an easy win, and
dude.
it was.
I think it's the classic, like, they're up, 2-0 feeling good, they lose a hard point, they start to get a little nervous, and then it's like the other team, that's that momentum, we always say
Mhm,
it every time, COD is just it's a momentum game. And they completely lost composure. They lost their faith in themselves. They couldn't do anything. And then when they got to the search and destroy, I mean, man, if I had the headset on, like I've seen that clip, the guy rips the fucking headset off. I was
yeah.
so pissed. I was like, bro, they folded.
Mhm,
And I don't know what that says about them. I hate listening to the flank when they say that stuff about Boston. They're like, I don't believe in them. They're a bunch of scammers. Like
mhm,
these guys, they're not going to be able to pull it through. Um, I still have my faith with this team. I think they can do well. I'm hoping this was a fluke, but
mhm,
I just checked their schedule. They have 2 games left. They've got to play Cloud9, which we'll see about that one. That could be a tough one. And then the one that they have on the 24th, they're playing fucking Thieves.
mhm.
So who knows how that's gonna go?
Yeah.
I mean, that let's hope that Thieves doesn't get any better. Let's hope that
Well,
they still suck,
yeah,
and then we
I
can take advantage.
Cloud9's beatable. Surge should have just like, we should have won that. Thieves at this stage, they are beatable, but I like watch. I guarantee you they're gonna make the Neum change. They're not gonna make it next week. They're gonna make it the week right before the major.
Mhm.
Oh no, they're gonna make it, yeah, going into that Boston game. And now Boston has no idea how to plan for that because they just
Mhm.
put in a brand new player and they're gonna have the, new roster just ready to
Yeah.
go. And it's like you can't prep for that.
Yeah, and watch this guy Neum, like his first match, he's playing Boston. Like, let's be real, they're not
Mhm.
like the greatest team, but they're solid. And he just has a masterclass series. Like,
Yeah.
I'm waiting for that to happen, and I'm just gonna be like, bro, we got
Yeah.
done dirty. Like
I
once
yeah.
again.
I still think Boston is they're definitely a mid pack team.
Yeah.
But I do think they have the potential to like start. They can push that threshold of like where like the fourth team is. They can
Mhm.
push that. Um,
Yeah.
but they can't do that if they're getting reverse swept by Surge. Like you need to put your foot on the gas pedal and just keep going. I mean, like Snoopy finally, I think this is like his game. Like he's frying this game
Oh,
and
yeah.
he's been pretty consistent in
He's
terms
so
of,
good.
you know, overall KD and stuff, but yeah, he's not throwing up too many stinkers like in a row like previous games where it was just like hot and cold.
Yeah. No, he definitely looks like he's kind of peaked right now as a player, regarding the titles. This is definitely his best. If everyone on the team is negative, he's the only one that's positive.
Hmm.
And that was the situation I think with the Surge game. He still was doing well and put in the work, but yeah, it's going to be the leadership and like the composure during moments like that to be able to rally everybody together and still keep it going.
Hmm.
Um, that I think they obviously struggle with. It's hard to see them getting reverse swept by freaking Surge. Like Surge isn't some, you know, unbelievable team that if Optic did that, people would not be as surprised.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, to your point, they can do it, and this is a time like what I was saying earlier. It's kind of scrappy right now with the top teams because they're having some of their hot and cold moments. And if Boston was rock solid and could be able, like, they could take advantage of it.
Hmm.
But playing the way they are right now, if they don't have a bounce back in the next couple of matches, then it's going to be a tough major one for them.
Yeah, you don't want to start in losers.
No, I mean, and that's why I think Thieves right now too. They're getting worried about that too. They're like, bro,
Mhm.
how many more matches are we going to lose? Where, yeah, if we start major one, we're in losers. Like, bro, it might be wraps. You
Yeah,
know?
after Thursday, they're done.
Yeah, yeah. Like, and we saw it, Scrap's face after he lost that. Like, bro, that's an online match. Like that, it's
Mhm.
not worth that much, but it is. It
Yeah.
says a lot about the bigger picture. Where he's like, dude, like this could go downhill really quick. Like, yeah,
Mhm.
he could be packing his bags on Thursday if they don't make a change and they don't all of a sudden improve.
Mhm.
Um, and I think I saw too on there, um, that they're gonna be playing Optic too at some point. I think
Yeah.
that's next week that they're gonna be playing them,
They
which is
yeah,
bro,
they have a
they're
hard schedule.
yeah, because what's today? Today's the 12th? Yeah, so at the end of this week, yeah, there's Boston and Cloud9. Yeah, bro, they're playing Optic on Sunday. Forget
Mhm.
about it.
Yeah.
Like, that's almost like an auto L basically for them
Yeah.
at that point, unless this guy is insane,
Yeah.
but more than likely, that's already gonna be just one more, and I don't know what the threshold is for them to be falling into losers, but obviously that loss is not gonna help.
Mhm.
Um, so it's getting scary for them, for sure.
They'll to be honest, they're probably gonna end up in losers unless they can beat Optic.
Yeah.
And so if that's the case, like I think they should just try out Neum like now at this point. But and Neum's not like he plays on the Huntsman. So I don't know. Maybe he has something like inside info or something. He'll be playing from there. Uh
He's
he
got it bugged.
yeah, his contract right now is weird. It's like they're talking I don't know if it was on the flank or if like Methods was just talking about it on stream. I can't remember. But he's like on a loan right now, technically. So if
Right, I've
Thieves
heard.
want to make a change, then he'll go and like play for the Thieves. But as of right now, he's technically still playing like for the Huntsman.
Yeah.
Uh, but that contract ends, that like loan period ends if they go to Major One and they don't make a change. Like after Major One, they can't pick him up.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, so they have to make a decision like now
Yeah.
if he's coming in or not.
Yeah, and I would assume that they're gonna make that decision. They're
Yeah.
gonna bring him in. I think they would be fools not to. Like they don't really need to see any more with that team. I
Mhm.
think they've kind of said everything that they need to regard with the results. Um, which is a shame too, because you said Kenny, I mean, man, he's one of the last guys from that era of pros that's been at it for a long time. But I will say too, like if you can't make it on that team and you can't
Mhm.
make it happen with those players, it's not gonna really happen with many other teams.
Mhm.
Like, you cannot be around those guys who are that good and struggle, in my
Mhm.
opinion. Like they're too much of superstar players and a team for you to be struggling that bad where your performance is in question. You know what I mean? It's not
Yeah.
even a fact of like you're not getting as many kills as those guys. It's like no, you're dropping point sixes,
Mhm.
80s, and it's hurting them big time. And it doesn't help when Abizi is struggling too. But when you're down on that level, it's hard to defend that.
Yeah. But because that's all we can really see. Like it doesn't help either when you go into practice and you're just not doing anything. Like I wonder
Right.
what that's like because I know um like Slasher when he retired, he started streaming like immediately and I was in his stream for like a couple hours and he was just like he went back home on vacation and he realized like he was already thinking about it and he was saying, most people when you start thinking about it, it's time.
Hmm.
And he was saying that like last year, he was like, dude, it was a waste of time. He's like, no one takes practice like as serious as like he does or what they used to back
Yeah.
in the day. People come in and he's like, I he was saying, I know a lot of these new gen kids, they come in and like they have a different way of practicing, but like they're not as like rock solid as like Slasher's way of, practice. Like he's there to work. And he was like, it was just a waste of time. Show up to practice, get shit on, go back home, and then come and do it again.
I remember him saying, like a clip from that stream is he's like, we'd be in matches and making mistakes, and I'd be like telling them to correct it or like what we need to do. And he's like, and I'm getting nothing back. He's like, I'm just getting crickets. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
you know. Um and yeah, that has to suck. And I'm sure Ken, because he's always been that like
mhm.
slasher, a very vocal leader. I wonder if he's kind of, dealing with something similar to that, or just not being able to get through to them.
I
um,
wouldn't be surprised because I mean, you've seen like how through the 0 to 100 and in the process, like he's a vocal person, like in practice,
mhm,
and like he's gonna state his opinion and like what he thinks. I don't know how Scrap is. But he doesn't seem like the type of guy to be like, even through all the like trash talking and stuff,
right.
where he's gonna like, dude, I'm not gonna fight this. He's just gonna be like, man, whatever.
Yeah.
Um, and I only say that because when people have asked him about keeping snipers in or GAing stuff, he's always like, man, I'm just here to play COD. And that gives me the vibe of where like he's not gonna like try to contribute to that in like the way that Kenny wants to. Like that's the way that Kenny um voices his opinion, which I get, but some people do not respond to that. You have to approach it a different way.
Yeah.
I don't know how easy is. I feel like he's probably the type of dude that just kind of just sits there and like tries to absorb it himself and like realize what happened.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And he's not gonna like voice his opinion like all the time. And then with
Yeah.
Hydra, I have no idea. Like I don't know if he's like being like Kenny. Like are they like arguing?
Yeah, there's a lot of unanswered questions with that team and how they practice.
Mm-hmm.
And I wonder how it's going to be changed with bringing in a new player. Like, is that
Mm-hmm.
really going to fix all their issues? I mean, we've said it. No, it's
Mm-hmm.
not. They need to totally change the way that they practice and the way that they've learned the game, because obviously it's not working for them. But again, that's a serious undertaking.
Mm-hmm.
And like, it is a balance, like you've said, where you have to find people that work well together and like put them with people that are going to be able to respond to them. Like Kenny obviously was able to do that with that LAT team that he had.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and with the Optic guys, that seemed to work, obviously, because they ended up winning MW3 with him. Um, so it's interesting how some people can take that and understand where he's coming from, and for some teams, it falls on deaf ears. They don't want to hear it, and they're just like, yeah, whatever,
Mm-hmm.
bro. Like, I'm
Yeah.
not listening to you.
Yeah, because Slasher and Kenny, they teamed together. Uh, they played on LET. They won a lot together. They're those guys that they're gonna voice their opinion, and man, nothing is worse than voicing your opinion and you get nothing back. It's
Right,
like both of those guys would rather you like get mad and yell at them and say something because that means you care
right,
versus just not saying anything at all. It's like, all right, you're the passion's not there into it if you're not willing to argue about it or
right.
just talk about it.
Yeah, you can't there's nothing to work with there, you
Yeah.
know? Um, and, to that point too with Ken, like, again, we're under the assumption as we're recording this, nothing has, dropped. There's no rumors other than just the main stuff that he is going to be off that team. Um, I don't know what's gonna be next for him. I mean, there's still plenty of teams, in my opinion, that could get better, with the addition of him, but like Slasher, I don't really get why for Kenny why he'd really want to keep competing if he knew that there wasn't a chance that he could win, you
Hmm.
know?
Yeah.
Like, I'd have to imagine for Slasher, it had to be pretty tough from when he went with FaZe and won. Um, and I saw from that as well, he was like, dude, we should have won way more in that year.
Hmm.
Cause like looking back now, he's like, bro, that was the fucking year. Like if I was gonna be winning anything, like
Hmm.
that team, there's no way that I should have lost with them. And like he hadn't won in a minute, and then he shows up with the best team and he delivers.
Yeah.
Because again, it's like, bro, you can't be with those guys and not win. Like,
Hmm.
because who was on this? It was Simple Easy Cell. Yeah,
Yeah.
like you can't not win with them.
Hmm.
Like you're immediately out. Um, so now with him, like when he was at Carolina, and it's like, what are you gonna do? And I think even Ken, when he was a Rocker last year after
Yeah.
OPTIC let him go, it's like, bro, do you really want to be hanging around on those teams at your stage in the game, at your level?
Hmm.
Like, like you've won world championships before.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's got to be a tough call. Do you stick it out or do you just say, what, I'm all set? Like, I don't want to play for these guys.
Hmm. That's like, yeah, that's a tough call because I'm sure they probably want to go out on like their terms. And all the guys so far that have gone out, it hasn't been their terms. It's because they went from like the top of the top to like the lowest of the lows.
Yeah.
Every single like player that we've watched that has retired, it's like
Hmm.
obviously you're not retiring, after like a championship or something like that. Like that's like storybook. But to retire like on a decent year, you know, maybe like you place like fourth or fifth, like middle of the pack versus like I want to say every single pro so far that has retired that we've seen in the CDL, they're literally on a bottom team. Um,
Yeah.
and they're just getting like shit on. Ken's on LAT. I'm not saying they're on a bottom team, but like he's had bad year, like after bad year. I think that was a big reason why he wanted to keep playing in Black Ops 6
Hmm.
because he wanted to prove to himself that he wasn't, that bad. Like
Right.
going
Right.
from Optic to that team. And like he did play better, but I don't know. It sucks seeing because you have to accept that. Like you're not bad, but like what are you gonna do? Because I'd imagine they will make the change and he's if I have to guess, he's just gonna like ride the sub spot. Because you never know. What if like Neum joins and they just suck
Hmm.
even more? And then they bring Ken back again, but that's gonna start the whole like optic thing again. Like, oh, you brought back Pred, you dropped Pred, you
Yeah.
brought
Yeah.
Kenny
Yeah.
back, like all that.
Yeah. It's a fair point. A lot of these guys don't go out on their term. I was just thinking about like Karma and
Yeah.
Slack, like when they were on that. What was it? They played for Surge. Was
Yeah.
that the team? Yeah,
Surge.
back in MW 2019. Like, bro, think about the career that those guys had. Like, in
Yeah.
particular, Karma over them. Like, dude, legendary. Like, one of the best ever. And then he was on with Octane too.
Mhm.
This is crazy. Like a fucking horrible team. Like one of the worst
Yeah,
ever.
yeah, and those guys came off of Karma came off of Optic.
Yeah.
Slack came off of LG, like, arguably, like, one of his best, years, and then Octane came off of LA Thieves or,
Yeah.
100 Thieves, like, top team. They make this super team, they're garbage.
And I think too, wasn't Enable on that team as well?
Yeah,
Wasn't
yeah,
yeah.
he came
Yeah,
from
bro.
with Octane.
Yeah, yeah, bro. That was just that is so sad. Like those
Yeah.
guys, if you saw them, you were watching 2019, you see those names, you're like, dude, these guys are ass. I'm like, bro, you have no idea.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
like it's unbelievable that those guys are there. And I mean, it's like it's the same with Kenny and a lot of the pros that we've seen as time's gone on. Like we saw with Attach too. He was just on teams that were okay and like maybe they had their moments from time to time, but never really any chance to win championships.
mhm,
Um, of course, it's for the love of competing like that. That's something that I can't relate to.
mhm,
Um, where those guys, yeah, they just want to do it because they love competing and they love playing professionally. And they always like, that's why I'm not a competitor because I'm like, oh yeah, they're not going to win. Like
Mhm.
they don't have that feeling. Um, but yeah, it's hard to make that call when you're like being a bit more reflective on yourself and where you are. And
Mhm.
especially like we were saying at the beginning of the episode, the new gen is coming in. Like all these new guys, like the fact that I'm hearing these names, Neum and Aluka and all of them, I'm like, bro, are these gonna be the guys who are the big time vets
Mhm.
like in 10 years? Like, are we gonna be like tweaking out about how godlike Aluka was?
Mhm.
Or is he just, there's gonna be somebody else that's in his place that comes along and is a freak?
Yeah. I mean, like, right now, I think we still got Simp and Abizi, like, and Dashy, obviously. Those guys,
Mhm,
like, they will be the long-term vets, like, for us for a while. But
mhm.
I'm not worried about the seat. I'm worried about, like, the content. Like, obviously, these guys coming in, like, they're new. They don't have, like, personalities or anything. I need someone to come in like Draws and just, like, show their personality and
Yeah,
scrap. Like, it's good for the scene.
yeah.
Um, Man, it would be so boring and stale if, like, all these rookies came in and they're all just, like, mute. Like, they just don't like, they're like
Dopamine
Neptune. No
fried.
no offense to Nep, but, like, he just plays COD,
Yeah,
like, those guys that are just chill.
they're not not like super funny, like big personality,
Yeah.
like all they do is just
Yeah,
play the game.
we had Crim, we had Clay, Karma, Scump, Formal, like, all these personalities, and there are always storylines going on, like, inside and outside of the game, and now, like, we don't know. That's why it's weird because we literally seen the first wave of, like, retirements ever in
Yeah,
COD, where
yeah,
literally, like, Call of Duty is being rebuilt again, like, the first, uh, decade, I guess, of, like, when the MLB started. We're the pioneers right now.
right. Oh, no, we are, dude, and it's weird because when I was playing a couple days ago and playing a little bit of the season 1 reloaded, and it was on Meltdown,
Mhm.
like, every time I'm on Meltdown, I'm always gonna think like, right when I spawned in and I went over to that dome area, I'm
Or
like,
yeah.
"Dude, this is where Nameless got ninja diffused by Karma back in B," like, that's the thing that comes to mind,
Yeah.
and I remember people, like, they mentioned that. I think it was on the flank where they talked about that quickly, um, or where, Parasite, that's also where he won the, world championship, I think was on that map.
Mhm.
Um, but there's so many new people who play Meltdown and play these maps, and they have no idea. Like,
Mhm.
there's like, "Oh, dude, this is a BO2 map." Like, "Okay, whatever," you know? And I'm like, "Dude, you don't know the fucking history that went down here.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you have no idea," and I see same thing with Fringe. I'm like, "Dude, this map is fucking legendary. Like you have no
Mhm.
idea." But there's so many people that I hear them in the game chat, and they're like little kids that are talking. I'm like, bro, you weren't there. Like
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
like, this is a new map for you, bro. Like
Yeah.
don't even start with me. But how many times I've loaded in on Fringe? I got this.
Mhm. Yeah, they didn't even play BO3 or BO2. That wasn't their
Yeah.
first COD. They've never played it. It's
Yeah.
weird. We're getting there. That's
Yeah. I know, dude. Like, wait until like a handful of years, they're gonna be doing like remastered like Cold War maps.
Yeah.
Those are gonna be the vintage maps. I'm like, are you kidding me?
Yeah. It's weird.
Like that shit just came out. But I will say too, touching on it quickly. Did you get a chance to play the maps for season 1
Yeah,
at
so I
all?
played I played last night for a bit. Not
Yeah.
last night, 2 nights ago.
Mhm.
Uh, and so they added Fringe, they added Meltdown, they added I think it's Yaki.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yaki.
and that I like that map. It's
It's great.
smaller. It's definitely so I played the mosh pit and obviously it's 6v6, but that map apparently is a 2v2 map too, which makes like way more sense.
Mhm.
Because it's pretty tiny. But I like the scenery of it, like being on a rooftop. But I get that's definitely not going to be competitive. But
Oh,
I would say like the two big maps obviously are Meltdown and Fringe. And it's like riding a bike on both of those maps. And Fringe, I will say, I think it'll be more fun in BO7 versus BO6 because we have like the wall bounce at least. So sort of feels like jetpacks a bit, but I think that map will play well. like very, very well on this game because of that wall bounce.
Yeah, I agree. I liked playing Fringe a lot, because you said it plays very similar to how it used to, and I don't know, I really like like, the big jump that you have or, like, like, when you wanna go and climb up stuff, you
Mhm,
can just have that wall bounce to get up through most things. I feel like that just kinda takes the place of the boost. Most places
mhm,
that you wanted to go with the boost, you can do with that, jumping onto the wall and then grabbing onto something.
mhm,
Um yeah, I think adding those 2 remasters was a really, really good move, because they're not super common ones and they are fan favorites. Uh, and it's a nice break from seeing just all the standard remastered maps that we've seen. Like, don't get me wrong, I like playing Standoff. It's a fun map, but we've seen that quite a few times.
mhm,
And I don't think we've seen Meltdown at all since BO2.
mhm.
Um, and I've seen that too as the rumor with season 2 and going forward. Like, I think they had that whole list at one point where they showed like Yemen was on there and a whole bunch of other maps from like BO2, BO3 kind of realm. Which is definitely the right move. The remasters are good, but they need to be like certain ones. You know what I mean? They
Mhm.
need to be these maps that actually deserve a remaster. Some things deserve being remastered, and some it's like, we've seen it 1,000 times. We don't need to keep getting the same map over and over again. So I
Yeah,
was
yeah.
happy to see that with the new update.
Yeah, I think the good thing is that they added French early. Again, get these remasters in early because they added French in BO6 after Champs.
Yeah,
Like the season
yeah,
was over. They're not gonna add that in into competitive. Granted, they're definitely not making any map additions for Major One because I mean, well, Major One's literally in 2 weeks. They're definitely
right.
not adding a map, and I don't need. I'm pretty sure like the maps are just locked at this point, but I'm sure they can explore if they want to add like search and destroy meltdown
Yeah.
or S&D fringe and that or like hardpoint fringe. Like that'd be awesome. Or overload for fringe. That'd be great too.
I forget, do you remember there's a couple of maps that they've talked about getting rid of for game modes? Like,
Mhm.
I'm pretty sure Scar is one of them that
Scars
they're
one,
looking to be. Yeah, but what is
Blackheart.
it for though? Is it for overload or is it for search that they're looking to get rid
I
of?
want to say it was search.
Yeah. 'Cause I think, like, those maps, I do agree with that, like, seeing Scar SND, like, I'm kind of
Mhm,
over that. I would much rather see something like a Fringe or seeing Meltdown. I don't know if I
mhm,
haven't heard anything about Meltdown being in,
mhm,
but I would like to see some of those maps get into the map pool because the map pool right now is not bad,
mhm.
but, of course, if there is room to improve it with some of these maps that people know are good, then I don't see why they shouldn't.
Yeah, yeah, and it adds. It's not like they're taking. Well, as of right now, it doesn't seem like they're taking the entire map away, just a
Yeah.
specific game mode.
Mhm.
Um, which I mean, I'm fine with. Again, last year we only watched like 3 maps. This year we have, you know, well, I mean, we've seen a lot of Scar, we've seen Den, uh, we'll
We
see
got Scar,
Exposure.
Den, Exposure, we've got, Raid,
Yeah.
and then I'm trying to think what else that I'm missing right now.
Blackheart is technically in, but I think they're gonna take Blackheart out just because it's so small.
Yeah,
Colossal's in there. People like, I think
we're already up to
Colossal.
6.
Yeah, I think Colossal people are kinda getting sick of just because it's not too small, it's just really high engagement, which I'm fine with, like, that's cool,
Dude,
but whatever.
I love that map personally. I
Yeah,
absolutely
it's
yeah, I don't know,
I
I
think
I think that's a great map.
the more maps they can add, the better, to be honest, like, I don't they don't need to take anything out, just add.
Yeah, I kinda feel the same. If you don't like that map, then just don't choose it as much, but you gotta be ready on all this stuff because
Exactly,
maybe
yeah,
there
yeah.
is some team that is out there that is absolutely grinding out, a particular map and they might put it in there, like, because you're not gonna ban it,
Yeah,
or veto it. But yeah, I think that's a nice element to be adding to it instead of having a really small map pool that everyone sticks to. But I mean, we'll see what they end up doing with it, but um, I am happy again seeing that this season one Reloaded has been a success. They've had the Fallout thing that's been going on as well. Like, we're not going to buy that.
Mhm.
I don't got money like that, but it's nice to see that they're adding some of these like, collabs that are not too bad. And some of the stuff in the collabs, I even saw Jeff talking about it. Like, it does look cool, you
Yeah.
know. They're not adding like complete trash, which is good, but yeah, it's nice to see that with unfortunately on a game that is not looked at that well, they're doing everything they can to try to bring people in, and it's really just to the benefit of us because we're still playing the game at this time, and I'm like, all right, we're getting a lot of good stuff.
Mhm.
But they're really trying to do it to bring people in, not to make us
Yeah.
happy. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah, and I mean, the Fallout stuff too, they put in, different playlists, like, they changed a couple of maps, just for Fallout,
Mhm.
and I like that, I think people have said it. Fallout kind of makes sense as, like, a collab with COD. It's not like Nicki Minaj and, like, Beavis and Butthead just, like, randomly in there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, but yeah, I think overall season 1 Reloaded has been good. Uh, we're waiting for season 2, like, when it comes out, like, hopefully that's when Ranked comes out, and maybe a new zombies map or something like that.
Yeah, bro, I need ranked.
Yeah.
I need some to keep me going on that. Like I want to play competitive. Like I've been loving
Mhm.
watching these matches back and trying to learn it. And I'm just like, bro, I want to play. Like I want to
Yeah.
get into that stuff.
Everyone's itching to play
Yeah, I
that's
mean,
watching the studio, which I again, is a good thing. I think we learned from last year, having Ranked right away at launch isn't the best thing.
yeah,
You don't need it right away. So having us, like, wait a bit and, like, I if Rank does come out, which I think it will in season 2, I just have a feeling that Treyarch they're working on something. I think it'll be the same layout, but I hope they add that, like, best of 5 or something like that. They're gonna add something new.
yeah. That would not surprise me. Like we said last week with it, because just with the length that's been taking, I would hope that the polish is there with it. And yeah, if there was some addition too, that would be great. I
Mhm,
would hope that they do something like that. Just because it does feel long. Like I'm not gonna complain because I better be really good. And like you said, last year was a complete disaster. But it does feel like it is a long time because when the game come out, like November, you
yeah,
know,
November
yeah,
14th.
yeah, so it's like we're coming up now on a couple of months
Mhm.
without having it. And if you're playing the game all the time, like there's people who are, way into Master Prestige. Like they've been grinding like mad,
Oh,
you
yeah.
know? And it's been a long time for them without having rank. But they just need to delay, like no one's gonna care about the delay. No one's gonna remember that. If it comes
Mhm,
out and it's like really, really good and they've got some innovations in there, then everyone's
mhm,
gonna be happy. No one was gonna remember being like, well, it did come out a little bit later, you
mhm.
know?
Well, that's the thing, like, 2.5 months, it is long. I think it's long because we're watching the CDL so much and
Mhm.
we wanna play ranked, but it does help a lot that pubs is fun. So,
Yeah.
like, it keeps us interested to keep playing the game, and then when ranked comes out, we can just play. Because uh, like, previous games, like Black Ops 6, like, pubs was alright, but it's not like this game,
Yeah.
and people are just waiting for the next thing. So, we just wanted, like, ranked. Everyone's like, "Oh, like, let's have ranked." And it's also hard too with the timing of the CDL. Like, I'd imagine they would wanna release ranked around, the same time the CDL starts, but then imagine, like, they released it when CDL started, and then they go on this, like, month-long break after 2 weeks of matches. Now it's like they're scrimming. We have no idea what's happening in rank technically. All
Right.
the stuff is happening. Then they come back and different GAs happened. Um, teams look different, things like that.
Yeah, it could be a disaster.
Mhm,
It's gonna be for the benefit of us who've been watching and everybody who has been watching professionally, because when ranked comes, there's not as much of a learning curve. They'll
mhm,
kind of through muscle memory of watching all these VODs know what to do. Um, where instead of, like you said, having to adapt to like a lot of changes that they're making on the fly and everything, um, and kind of learning along with them
mhm.
and dealing with all the hackers and all the like BS that people are taking advantage of. I think it's a lot better just to hold off like they have. So I hope that we get some news relatively soon here, since again, season 1 Reloaded has been out and that's all done. I'm hoping that maybe in the next couple of weeks we get some news or some leaks talking about rank play, or like they do some announcement. Like I've seen them before where they, hype it up and they talk about the system and kind of the like layout as to what it's going to look like.
Mhm.
I would like to see in there that they do add some new features or new modes that are going to be attached to it just to keep things fresh for us.
Yeah, I'd imagine we'll probably hear, if I had to guess, like the beginning of February, so after Major
Mhm.
One, which yeah, I think there's like 25 days left or something like that from when we're recording. That's left with season
Mhm.
one, so we got another like month and a half, or like a month, essentially less than a
Mhm.
month. So
So
yeah,
it's coming
mid
up.
February. It is coming up. Yeah, it'll be after Major One,
Yeah.
which
Yeah, it'll be here before we know it, so
mhm.
I'm looking forward to talking about it and playing and bitching about ranked and stupid games that we lose.
Yeah. In the
Yeah,
meantime, we gotta get this Easter egg done because I know people,
I
dude,
know.
people in
We
the
have to.
comments, they're at like three people actually I saw. They were like, "Do you guys do the Easter egg yet?" I'm like, "God damn it! They're holding us accountable. We got to get it done."
We have to get it done. No, we will. We will.
Um,
Again, this is better than last year's where we didn't touch this shit at all.
yeah,
Um,
we actually want to
again,
get it
bro,
done.
yeah, well, I think too, like I was thinking about it, like, I might need to go and, like, take notes or some shit to be able to, like, keep up with this because there's no way we're gonna be able to do it while I have a laptop pulled up and, like, watching the clips, you know?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think the first like couple steps I think are pretty easy. Like, it's good. We're not gonna do it first try. It's not gonna happen. I think it'll
No,
take us
but
like two, maybe three tries.
once we get to Mars, that's where we're gonna tweak because we're gonna be, like, spazzing
The
out that we
first
finally
time
got.
getting there. Yeah.
Yeah, and then we're gonna be like, "Yo, dude, what do we do?" It's like, "Watch the video."
Yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna train these guys, bro. Like, but we might get thrown into something immediately. Like, I have no idea.
Yeah, and we need to be prepared when we get into Mars. That's the thing, like, a lot of these guys get to Mars super early,
Mm,
but, dude, if we don't have any pack-a-punch stuff, like, we're not prepared, I'm assuming we're just gonna die.
right.
I think
Like,
you
we're
gotta
not gonna be
redo
able
it
to live.
all over again.
Yeah. No, you probably there has to be some boss that you fight. I
Yeah,
can only assume that because that's just, how these Easter eggs work. You're gonna have to fight some boss, and there's no way we're gonna be doing that when we have like, pack a punch one gun. Like it's not
exactly.
happening, you
Yeah,
know. Like we gotta be fully kitted out. We gotta have, like wonder weapons. We gotta have a good amount of the basic perks covered, etc. But by that point, we're already in the like the late 20s per
yeah,
round
yeah,
you know? So it's a balance, but we're gonna get it done. We will do it.
yeah, yeah, we'll get it done. Maybe we I don't know, maybe next episode, guys, we will have it done. We don't know yet. We'll
We
see.
don't
So,
know.
it'll be a
We
surprise.
shall see. But yeah, one episode we're just gonna have it titled and say, "We fucking did it."
Yeah.
It's like, here's the whole breakdown.
Yeah. We gotta do it before the next zombie map drops, though, because then it's just
Yeah.
gonna stack up.
Then we're gonna snowball and we're screwed, and we'll never get any of them done.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I mean, overall, season 1, Reloaded, success.
Mhm.
CDL, it's been a banger so far. If you haven't been keeping up, definitely go watch. Um,
Yeah, unless
make
you're
sure
a
to
D's fan.
yeah, that's tough. uh Go join the Discord because a
Mhm.
lot of us have like been, messaging inside there and we're trying to grow this community a bit. And during the major, if you guys have never been to a major before, we're going to create a whole separate channel in the Discord just for the major. If you guys have any questions or I don't know, you guys want to see some videos and whatnot,
Mhm.
we're probably going to be posting on like all of our social media anyways. So you can witness an optic major for the first time with us through our lens,
Mhm.
and it's gonna be sick. We're excited for it.
Yeah, I can't wait, dude. Like, I'm itching for it. This is gonna be so wild to actually be there
Mhm.
in something that you and I, for years, we've always been like, dude, we need to go to an optic major. We need to go. And the fact
Yeah.
that we're finally doing it, I'm like, bro, that's my one of my life's, bucket list things checked off.
Oh yeah, it's off the bucket list.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
It's gonna be fun. So yeah, make sure to join the Discord. I'll leave the Discord
Mhm.
link in the description down below. And if you're on YouTube, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Again, Discord link will be in the description, so make sure to join it over there. We're also on anchor.fm/the COD Casuals, where we're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, all those audio streaming platforms. And we're also on TikTok and Instagram. So if you don't want to listen to the whole thing, we chop it up into shorts and clips and we post them over there. And make sure to leave a 5-star rating on, Spotify, all our platforms. And follow us too, because we're at, I think on Spotify, we're like at 520. Let's get it to 1,000, because I know more of you guys like listen to us. So hit that follow button and we'd appreciate it. And again, last shout out, join the Discord. Helps us out a ton. And you can come and just, talk about COD, talk about whatever.
We talk about a whole bunch of shit. Talk about anything gaming.
Yeah, anything gaming related, like other stuff that's happening,
And if you're listening to this podcast, then you're into gaming, so join it.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I think that's it.
That's it, bro.
Yeah. So thank you, everyone. This has been episode 257 of the COD Casuals. We're your host, Justin.
And I'm Mike.
And we'll see you guys next week.
Take it easy, everybody.
See ya.